Hey there, my friend. Welcome to today's video. My name is Dr. Anthony Balduzzi. I'm the founder here at the Fit Father Project and the Fit Mother Project. In today's video, I want to cover 10 stretches that I'd love for you to incorporate into your life here in 2021. Because when many of us approach our fitness and our exercise and our training, we're often thinking about things like weightlifting, some kind of exercise class, maybe riding a Peloton bike, doing some cardio, these types of things, and stretching is often neglected. But it's a huge part of health because we want to feel good. We want these long functional muscles. And what's going to happen is if we don't stretch, we get tight, we get bound up, we don't feel good. So these are 10 stretches that I've handpicked that I think are some of the best bang for your buck stretches. We're going to cover stretches that work your lower body, your hips, your quads, your hamstrings. We're going to cover stretches that are going to help improve the mobility of your spine, lengthen your spine, help you feel better and less back pain. We're going to have some stretches for your upper body as well. We're going to go all of those in sequence, starting with lower body, then spine, then upper body. I think you're going to love these stretches. And without further ado, let's kick off with our very first stretch. So our first stretch is aptly called the world's greatest stretch. I didn't actually make this up. This is a stretch that's very popular amongst athletes and athletic circles. It's a combination of a couple of different movements. Let's get into it right now. So the world's greatest stretch starts off in a lunge position. So in a lot of different kinds of yoga stretches and stuff like this, we see this position. And this is a very important position where we're moving forward like this. We're lengthening this hip flexor. This is in a line of the body right here that gets very tight when we're sitting all the time. So we want to create length here. So I'm driving my back heel into the ground. I'm lunging forward just like this. I want you to hold this for a few seconds. Then we're going to shift forward. Hands are going to come onto the ground right here, and we may widen the stance here. So we're getting into a deeper stretch throughout that hip. We're still working on driving that back heel down, stretching the calf out, wiggling around just a little bit like this. Now there's an option at this point to drop even deeper by moving your elbow down. I'm not quite flexible enough for that, but if you are, you can get that elbow down right here to get an even deeper stretch throughout this groin here. Once we're here though, this is where the world's greatest stretch I think takes it to the next level. We're gonna put this hand down here and we're gonna open, rotate the trunk just like this. We're gonna hold this for about 10 seconds. You can even thread through like this, and you can open right back up for another hold. The reason this is called the world's greatest stretch is because we've worked so much of the body. We worked this long line through those hip flexors. We've worked trunk rotation. We worked, some of our upper body pressing. And when we loop through, we've worked some of our lats and other kind of these long pulling muscles. So it's amazing. You do both sides. This world's greatest stretch can take around 1 minute per time. This would be a great thing to do in the morning or before your exercise. Very fantastic. First stretch, world's greatest stretch. Again, lunge, hands down, trunk rotation, thread it through. Very good. Second stretch, again, primarily for your lower body, is the pigeon pose. This is a yoga posture that is amazing because so many people have tightness in this muscle that's in your glute called the piriformis. It is one of our external rotators of our hips. It gets very tight and weak for people. So pigeon pose, what we're going to do is we're going to get this first leg somewhere around here. Then we're going to square up and we're going to stack our hips. And I'm creating this deep stretch right here in this hip. I'll turn so you can see a little bit better here. And I'm allowing my hips to sit down throughout here. I want to make sure when you're doing this that you're not feeling knee pain. And I want you to move this front leg in such a way that you do not feel any pain, whether it's more tucked like I have it here, or if you are more flexible, you may be able to bring this leg out a little bit further here. Point being, I want you to feel this right here, deep here in your glutes. And you can actually sit down here. You can settle in, breathe, and you're going to hold this stretch for around 1 minute each side. When you're done with this side, gently thread the leg through, switch legs, boom, repeat pigeon pose. So that is the pigeon pose. Next stretch is a classic hamstring stretch, the kind of stretch we might have done back in physical education classes in school. It is amazing, right? These hamstrings get tight for so many of us. So what we want to do is get in this stretch posture right here where we're hinging at the hip, these legs are long and straight, and we're going to reach forward. Now the key thing here is not that you can necessarily touch your toes. Doesn't matter if you're just right here. But what I want you to learn how to do is to bend forward, draw your abs in as you start to forward fold over. Feel the length in these hamstrings and relax. The goal here is just to relax the tension in these legs. You're going to hold this for around 1 minute. And you'll find that as you breathe, you may be able to go a little bit deeper. a little bit deeper. If you do want to try to reach long, totally fine. I still recommend you work on bringing your entire upper body over. In time, you're going to get more flexible with this. Really great for keeping those hammies long. They often get very tight. So classic stretch. You can also do this standing if this is uncomfortable for you, but I do recommend the seated version if you can. Next stretch is for your quads, right? Because these guys need to be stretched as well. You have a lot of different quad stretches. The one I'm going to show you, I believe, has some added benefits outside of just being a quad stretch. It is kind of like a yoga pose, but it's like a belly down quad stretch. So I'm going to be belly down right here. And instead of stretching one quad at a time, we're going to do both. So I'm just gently pulling on the quads right here. The reason I like this on this belly down position is because it also forces you to bring your back into slight extension here. This extension thing is also very good for your spine. Something that a lot of us are actually stuck in the exact opposite. Our spines are forward flexed. When we're extending like this, it's very good. So we can pull on these quads like this. You can wiggle around. If you want more challenge, you can actually start to create more tension. And this is something called a bow pose in yoga. You can start to do this kind of stuff and play around with it. But the key thing is, we're just pulling through those quads. We're gonna hold this for around 45 seconds to 1 minute. Now, those are our 4 lower body stretches. World's greatest stretch, pigeon pose, hamstring stretch, quad stretch, both legs down on the belly. Now let's get into some stuff for the spine. We want to keep our spines healthy. We want to keep our spines limber. So the first stretch I have for you is a yoga posture again, called a cat-cow. So we're going to be in this position right here, quadruped all fours. First thing we're going to do is take these elbow pits right here. We're going to shine them forward. So I'm moving them forward just like this. Shine these elbows forward with my head just like this. Elbows are shining forward. Spine's in good position here. Now what we're going to take an inhale. And we're going to exhale through here. So I'm going to talk through so the breathing won't be as evident. But as we inhale, we are drawing the shoulder blades together. Back is arching just like this. Butt comes up. We're in this position. This is a full inhale. Now on exhale, we blow the air out as we roll the spine, tucking that pelvis under, pushing through those hands, chin comes through. Then we inhale again. And then we exhale. Now this is a unique stretch because one of the things we want to do with our spine, especially important as we age, if you don't have back problems now, this is something to do preventatively, is we want to do flexion and extension exercises to keep that spine mobile. That is what this cat-cow does. We're getting extension, and then we're getting flexion, and extension and flexion, back and forth, and we're syncing it up with the breathing, which is powerful, and it makes this an even deeper exercise for both calming the mind and relaxing the body and calming the nervous system too. So we synchronize this with the breath is very important. If you're just doing this haphazardly, with weird breathing like that, it's not going to be nearly as beneficial as slow, methodical. I would shoot for maybe 9, 10, 12 reps of this for your first go, just to mobilize that spine. Something you can do in the morning as well is absolutely amazing. Next one I have is a child's pose, also very good for releasing your low back tension. It is a very gentle stretch, and this is good. As we get older and we want to protect the back, this is a great stretch. So first thing, child's pose starts in the back here with these legs. Toes are touching, and we're kind of sitting on them just like this in a nice base position that's comfortable. And while we're here, we're going to take the hands out in front and gently walk them forward as the head comes to the ground, and we create length through those arms, and we're keeping that butt anchored down, and there's a gentle pull through the low back. We're going to relax here with the forehead on the ground and just allow this gentle stretch to pull. Again, 1 minute hold. This stretch is phenomenal. It looks very simple, but it just really opens up that entire back side of the body. It allows you to sink into those hips and relax the body because, again, tightness in the muscles is actually due to nervous system tension. We're holding tension in these muscles. And the child's pose helps teach our bodies to relax and to soften, which ultimately makes our bodies feel and function better. Those are our 2 spine exercises. Now we're going to go on to our final 4 exercises and stretches of this video, our upper body stretches. Let's get into those. We're going to move positions here for those. All right, so let's get into our final 4 stretches for your upper body. The first one is the crescent stretch. I absolutely love this. It's one that my body certainly needs. So what we're gonna do here is stand shoulder width apart. We're gonna take one hand at a time. This hand's gonna come up. I'm gonna take my other hand, grab my wrist. What I'm doing is I'm creating this line here on this left side of this body. I take a deep breath, and as I exhale, this hip, this left hip comes out, and I'm trying to create a long, stretched out line through this left side of my body. I'm stretching this entire left side by drawing it over through. Breathing normally through here, holding this for about 45 seconds to 1 minute, creating length. It's not about how long you can go, it's about how long you can go while still feeling like you're in integrity. If you find that you're moving off center, you want your body to kind of stay in this plane as you create length through here. So you've seen the old aerobic stuff just like this. It's kind of very similar to that. We're just holding this stretch. And again, we do the other side again, here, here, here. And I think before we go on to the next exercise, I think it's a good teaching point to understand. Anytime you're doing a stretch, the idea is to take a line of your body and create length in it. When we're doing that world's greatest stretch, that first exercise, we're creating this line through here, and we're trying to create maximum length through here, and then we did rotation, which is creating maximum length through this line. Same thing with the crescent stretch, right? Philosophically, we're basically just trying to create a line in length through a plane of the body. So crescent stretch. Next one we're gonna do is something that's amazing for your shoulders. Something that a lot of us did when we were kids, but we stopped doing when we were adults, and that's called passive hanging. So hanging is one of the best things for our shoulder health. A lot of people who have had shoulder problems who do hanging can really help improve the health of the shoulder. Shoulder really responds well to hanging. So getting some kind of pull-up bar, you can maybe put your fingers on a rail on a top of your door frame. And the idea is that you don't have to hang with your whole body weight, but you can sink in just like this, work on that grip, and allow yourself to sink into your shoulders. If you can get to a full hang like this, absolutely fine. Allowing those shoulders to just lengthen and pull. You can do small wiggles, which I like. I think it helps just add some sensation to the joints as you're doing the stretch. If you also feel like you're beginning, you might want to keep your feet down and just keep about 25 to 35% of your weight in your feet. Just like this, and do this hang. I would hold this hang again for 45 seconds to 1 minute. Your grip will need to get stronger over time. That's a good benefit of this exercise. So passive hang's great. It's not just good for your shoulders, it's good for your spine. I'm gonna do one more thing for your spine, then we're gonna come back here for the doorway. So another thing that I think is amazing for the spine is this thing right here, an inversion table. So this is something that I think it'd be beneficial for many people to purchase to get in their homes, because basically what you do, feet in here, I'm not going to do the full thing, but you invert, and that creates traction and length in your spine. We want to create length in the spine. We've done a couple stretches so far that have created length in the spine. That child's pose we did before, length in the spine. This hanging here, length in the spine. The inversion table is nice because it's very passive. As this table goes upside down, my head's here, my feet's here, it creates some length in that spine. So this is a great inversion table. You can find other good ones on Amazon. It could be something you invest in, specifically if you have some back pain, it could be good for you. And it actually just adds a lot of hydration and blood flow to the discs when you get upside down and you decompress that spine. Inversion table, great, something I do daily. Final stretch, which I think is very important, is a pec stretch, stretching this area of the body, because so many of us, because we are on computers, we're tight, we're hunched over like this gets tight, so we want to open this up. One way to do that is a classic pec doorway stretch, where our arm is kind of fixed here. It could be at a doorway, it could be on an exercise machine like this. I'm anchoring and I'm creating length. I'm just pulling through here, feeling that stretch in the pec. Now there's many different positions that you could put your arm in. You can put your arm higher, you could put your arm lower. I want you to pick the arm position that's best for you and not to get too complicated from a biomechanical perspective. I like to anchor my hand and move just like this and feel that stretch. Sink my hips in until I feel it just right where I want to feel that stretch. I'm going to hold this for around 45 seconds to 1 minute, and I would repeat with the other side here. Again, I like to come here, I like to turn the hips away just a little bit to create more length and more tension here and sink into that stretch. You can play around with it like this as well. Whatever feels best for you is going to be the best stretch for you. I can't tell you exactly how to do it. The cool thing about stretching is it gives you a chance to kind of explore your body and which positions feel good. Shit, if this feels good for you, just like this, that could be an amazing stretch. Hold it for 1 minute. If you feel like, wow, this is actually what my body needs, Hold it for 1 minute. The fun thing about making some time for stretching is you get to learn your body, learn the positions that your body feels tight in, and then work on softening those by holding those positions, breathing into them, adding more length. Those are 10 amazing stretches. Could you do this whole thing as a routine? Absolutely. You could run down the list, everything from that world's greatest stretch all the way down to this pec doorway kind of stretch thing. Or you could pick a couple of these. You find, I really feel good in these, I want to work on these, and work on them every single morning. Do them in the morning before you get going for the day, or do them before you go to bed, or do them before or around your exercise time could be a really good thing. Maybe post-workout, you do a little bit of stretching, you spend 5-10 minutes to do it. Really, really good. A valuable and overlooked part of fitness training is stretching. You start doing this stuff, your body's gonna be more resilient to injuries, you're gonna recover faster, and you'll feel better, because 10, 15 years from now, I promise you this, you're probably gonna care more about your mobility, your flexibility, and the fact that you're pain-free than how big any given muscle group on your body is, right? So this is why this stuff's important. Let's prioritize this now. Hope you found this video helpful. There'll be links in the description to some other cool stuff, like we have some yoga routines here, we have some other stretching videos, foam rolling videos I think you might find very valuable if you're into this subject here. And if you like this, you want more long form content, deep dive, no BS stuff on how to feel better, improve your fitness, improve your health, then us at the Fit Father Project and the Fit Mother Project, we're your team to help you. Subscribe, join our family here on YouTube. When you subscribe, you get access to all of our videos. We have 500 plus videos on our channel. We're releasing hundreds more this year, and when you subscribe, you're gonna get those videos straight in your feed. And when you hit the like button too, when you hit the like button, it actually causes the YouTube algorithm to spread this video far and wide to get this to more people who also need to know this information. So thank you for being here, my friend. I appreciate you greatly. Subscribe, hit that thumbs up button to spread this video. If you have other stretches or other comments you'd like to drop below, we'd love to hear from you, and we'll talk to you very soon, my friend.